2.6 billion. That's how many people across the world lack access to adequate sanitation. Nearly 1/3 of these people live in India. Without access to proper sanitation, their problems quickly start to stack up. How do we solve this massive health challenge? The solution starts with Sanicycle.
The current cycle begins with a person. The average person goes to the bathroom about 3 times a day. For most of India's population, this waste is not properly disposed of and is usually left out in the open. Due to the lack of proper sanitation, human excrement is left to pollute the environment. People come in direct contact with the waste, or it contaminates their water and food sources. Those that live without proper sanitation may ingest up to 10 grams of fecal matter a day. This then leads to serious health problems and even death for a significant portion of India's population. Sanicycle stops this deadly cycle. We start with the same person, but he now uses our Sanicycle toilet. Our Sanicycle toilet separates liquid and solid waste without using running water. Therefore, the human waste is contained and can be turned into fertilizer. This organic fertilizer is then sold to various farmers to increase their crop yield. The money from selling this fertilizer then cycles back to the people who are using our Sanicycle toilets, giving them an incentive to continue use and a revenue source for maintaining upkeep.
800 million people means 200 million Indian households lacking access to sanitation. Sanicycle's model allows 10 households to share a toilet. That's 20 million toilets. At $30 per toilet, that's a $600 million market, majority of which remains untapped in rural India.
The Sanicycle model for growth is simple. It starts with one rural village. When that community invests in a Sanicycle toilet, the village becomes the center of an entrepreneurial network. The toilet transforms their human waste into fertilizer. The villages then sell that fertilizer to neighboring communities. And soon, those communities invest in their own Sanicycle toilets. Once they begin selling fertilizer to new villages, the network expands. Soon, a web of villages, spanning across rural India, is enjoying access to adequate sanitation, as well as the benefits of running their own growing business.
Let's talk about how we're going to make money, starting with revenue. Each toilet sale brings in $30. Moving to fertilizer. Currently, the cheapest fertilizers are sold at a price of around $10 per ounce. Humans excrete at an average rate of 300 ounces a month. Let's assume half of that gets converted into usable fertilizer, and we take a 10% cut on the fertilizer sold to the market. That's $150 a month. Now looking at the costs. We need to think about production, distribution, maintenance, and the provision of a fertilizer market for the customers. Under production, the cost per unit amounts to $15. There are also high upfront fixed costs associated with building a manufacturing plant. These can be bypassed by engaging in partnerships, be it with existing ventures, the government, etc. Under distribution, we're looking to piggyback on existing networks. Otherwise, we'll have to set up ourselves or outsource, which would be more costly. For maintenance, this can be a source of local employment. However, ideally, customers would maintain it themselves given the value the toilet brings, so this maintenance would be more of a long-term check. In terms of fertilizer market access, we're looking again to piggyback on existing networks. For example, we could take advantage of the network through which food is collected from farmers and run it backwards. This could also be another source of local employment where we pay people to bring the fertilizer to pickup points. To summarize our profits, we are making 10% per toilet and an additional $100 per month. But Sanicycle is so much more than just money.
Sanicycle embodies the triple bottom line so often discussed in the world of social entrepreneurship. First, Sanicycle is a financially self-sufficient business that uses the revenue stream from selling compostable portable toilets to cover overhead costs and make profits. Second, Sanicycle has a positive environmental impact on those communities who utilize the toilets. Our product counters the harmful environmental impacts of open defecation, like pollution of water sources and emission of harmful toxins. Additionally, the organic fertilizer produced by Sanicycle's toilets helps to negate the negative impacts of chemical fertilizers currently used in India. Third and finally, Sanicycle has a massively beneficial social impact on its consumers. Using these toilets to produce organic fertilizer empowers consumers to build their own small businesses and encourages an entrepreneurial spirit among communities in rural India.
The sun is setting on bad sanitation.